most of the cards they've got. The hand that they have doesn't necessarily have to mean that it's a done deal.
Yeah, it's kind of the thing, right, that I think differentiates Full Sense and Onic is that Full Sense still does have that experience to make these bad rounds or bad buys into good buys. Anyways, Onic still have themselves a good chunk of utility. Have to respect that the ultimate is being utilized by Lammy Snacks here, and can they play? Can they go to the tune of the Electric Cha-Cha? Seems like that's going to be the case for them. Lots of people coming in from heaven here. The shot's just popping up from John Olsen. He is unchained here, unchallenged. Finally getting shut down by HNF, but now he's stuck on an island himself. Has to go for the plant or get detained by this ultimate. This is going to be the case, though. Trade for trade, 1 versus 1. He's not going to be detained anymore, but you know that Sever is going to be coming from this A main side. Who's the better shot at the long range? That's going to be Lammy Snacks, down to 31, but still around in the end. And 4-2, a lead over Onic once more.
Full Sense. For them to start this group stage to go down 0-2 would not be a result anybody could have expected or would be expecting. And so trying to avert that before it even happens, you know, trying to avert that kind of misfortune before it even gets rolling. But Onic, I mean, if there's any team who can throw anybody for a loop here, it's these guys. They are probably the dark horse newcomers of this entire tournament, I would honestly believe, because while it's their first showing here, their first outing in the C, stage, these guys are primetime business, and you can never take him for granted. John Olsen almost finding that out for himself.
Well, he saw the party, but he wasn't invited to it, so he just exit out. Doesn't have the invitation, but his teammates also don't want the party to come to them, so they're gonna try to evade the rest and try to force them back. HNF could be in a really cheeky spot here, but they do immediately go for the trade as he was waiting for that duel. But Cha-la-la-la, oh my goodness, he's just gonna line it all up on Market, produce himself a couple of kills, and that's the almost ace for him. If all 5 were there, could have been, but one was going for the B main lurk, and Lammy Snacks, or rather not Lammy Snacks, but PTC found it, and he finishes off that round, and it seems like Full Sense getting a better grasp in this game.
Cha-la-la, he's primed and focused for what the big picture is here, getting that 4K at the end of things, and you know that he knows what the important factor of this game is, because at the end of it, with his Vandal, he threw it away for the prime one, because he knows that skins are the most important facet of this entire game. So yes, props to Cha-la-la for recognizing the prime supremacy.
Again, plus 10 accuracy when you buy a skin.
That is true.
And I think some CS talked about it, where having a different knife like the Ruined Dagger actually gives you better mobility.
In my head, it's true.
Exactly, it's a placebo effect, but it's a very heavy placebo effect. Anyways, now there is gonna be the Killjoy ultimate expended on the A site. This is where, again, it's very easy for them to take the site, but it's difficult for them to exit the site or play that post plan, because Full Sense always just have something to counter. Well, Shiro's going to be throwing out his ultimate here just to make sure that he can destroy that lockdown. This leaves HNF and the rest to actually get themselves some hefty little trades in the advantage of their roster of this Indonesian team. 2 versus 2 now. There is a lot of post-plant scenarios here. Shock darts being utilized as well. Shiro left to the 1, but they're charging in. Cha-la-la-la first onto the contact. Not going to be able to get the first. Second will come out. But PTC on this angle has already looked up at the Shiro, but the double peek still goes through. And the accuracy from PTC reigns supreme.
Certainly showing him that the conference here from PTC is definitely one that Onic don't want to necessarily attend, because he's the teacher, he's the leader of this entire brigade. What they're really bringing in right now, Cha-la-la-la at the top of that board, the Sentinel of Light. He does seem to be for Full Sense, showing them the way, guiding them all throughout this entire series, and PTC's trying to do the same there on that sky. He has the Seekers on now, so the Jellyfish are going to be swarming on by, just squirting their way through and maybe finding some information here and there, but they also got the Astral Divide. Now, for the side of HNF, they do have a Showstopper who I don't think they're going to open up this round with, but if he can get a pick or two, they might just use that to maybe try and seal the round in.
speaking of sealed, John Olsen, fate also sealed in as he was not able to get out of harm's way, playing on the short cubby. It's spotted. That's going to be a weapon picked up here, and that's, I think, what Onic needs now because they're very much struggling in that weapons department. Superbus is going to at least try to play the closer angle here around the corner. Will be at least blanketing himself with the stars just to give him a little bit of safety, a little bit of security. He wants to peek back out, get more information. You do know that their opponent is going to be on the weaker buy, and that weapon has still yet to get picked up. This flash is going to open stuff, and they try to blanket the bullets with the Seekers, but it's not going to be enough. HNF also finds another victim, and this thrifty buy working in Onic's favor. They've what's the wording here? They baited. Full sense to just try to charge right in, but wait a moment. Cha-la-la-la, Lammy Snacks hitting one tabs as well as the lineups. And this gone topsy-turvy. This should have been a thrifty buy, but they've just charged in. Onic losing their minds a little bit here. And they have to respect this 2 versus 1. HNF planting the spike down, but he's outnumbered and unmanned, outmatched.
The tables have turned. And suddenly, it's Onic who are in the man disadvantage 1v5 right now. He's got armor, he's got full health on him, but he's going to take down to 5 HP. Okay, underhand throw just to try and fend him off in case he was going for an aggressive push. But Onic, hey, NF, they call his name. NF stands for Nasty Flick, because that's what this guy's got. Landing Chalala through the Radiant box, finding his head, and Onic somehow come out thriftily. It maybe was not as clean as it was initially looking at, but more important factor is they get the round on the board.
I wonder who actually called the timeout right now. Oh, it's going to be Onic, even after a round win. That makes sense, since they're the ones playing catch-up here, and that was not supposed to be a round that they lost more than just the one. They charged in again one after the other, and that's not really how you want to play around that thrifty round by. You know that you have the numbers already, so why not just try to play a much more passive angle, knowing now that their opponents are going to be on not really the best retake agents. They can get that information, they can use their utility slightly, but if you play it in the proper angles and refrag positions, should go into their favor. Anyways, Full Sense still do have that 3 rounds, looking mighty damn fine. I think the problem now is John Olsen's reaching too deep in the honey jar, and he's getting bit hard by something inside that pot, and he's got to be careful because he's been caught out multiple times already here, Black.
I mean, maybe if you're Winnie the Pooh, you can stick your whole hand into that jar, that honey jar, but otherwise you're going to be taken for a loo here, as the only win you're going to get is the smooth poo right after, because, you know, honey does help your digestion. But 3 to 6 on the board.
That transition, what? I did not know that, though, still.
Right here.
At least we get that info, you know?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I'm here for, to tell you guys about the important facets of life and the important information you need to know for this broadcast. But for the meantime, Lammy Snacks on that Sheriff. Shock Dart on now to just tag him up of hair coming here from Lammy Snacks. But, I mean, he's doing an epical job, considering he only has the Sheriff here of really kind of doing as much damage as he can.
Come on, let's go!
Sheriffs, if you can at least go through those walls, will be quite beneficial for you. Run It Back has expended most of the utility on the B site. Smokes as well. So this could be something. Meunier, though, he was getting wallbanged quite hard. Severin's holding the flank angle here on mid. He's put his turret there on top mid, just in case somebody wraps around quite long. Full Sense, since they do have PTC, he's been throwing out some guiding lights there just to kind of give them a bit of understanding as to where their opponents will be playing, but it seems like B is still going to be the case, but Market is where everybody just exits out. Lamisak still at the back of the side. John Olsen into the corner, and this trifecta angle that Full Sense have kind of established haphazardly has worked out in their favor. Moniette, Risky Mid, and Severin to remain, but where did Moniette just get that kill? With 16 HP to his name, he still claims it, and now he's equalized, and this is going to be another retake for the defenders.
Yeah, and he's refreshed his hot hands because of those 2 opening picks. But now, you know, Full Sense, they got some ultimates to work with here. I'm not sure which one they're going to expend first of all. But Severin has been caught on that. Great flash by him. That's a double flash. You get both that cubby position and Market with one. So 2 birds in the stone. Shalala, they're pushing on, and they got the 3v2 here right now. They have to flush out that B main player, which I'm not sure they're able to do because Monyeti's ready to throw this in. The towel, he has got it, and Risky MD, he's gonna get the final kill. That's what I was talking about. On a retake like that, you have to check B main. It's such an important anchor position for a post plant for the attacking side. If you do not clear it out, or at least maybe use, some ultimate to flush out the position, then you might just be caught off guard, and that's exactly what happens. Onic somehow take that round back, 4-6 now.
I'm going to point this out. Monyet was playing on the B side itself, but because of the triple push on Severin, I think the rest of the Onic players, rather than fearing for their lives on the round, made use of it, and they placed themselves in angles where I think Full Sense would not expect. And one of those angles was Monyet actually being on B main, and you were absolutely right. Somebody has to peek that angle here and now. But that's not going to happen anymore, and Onic back again to their old shenanigans, knowing that a bit of setup here and there and a quick little push as well is just enough to bamboozle and, again, confound the rest of Full Sense. Retake once more for the defenders.
4-6, and oh my goodness. Monyet finds another one yet here in the Lamy Snacks this time. It's a 2v5, and well, I mean, at this point, Full Sense, all you can really do is maybe try and keep him inside the site, maybe find a pick here and there to kind of get some economy in your way and hurt there as the opposing Onyx. But, I mean, hey, NF, nasty flicks, nasty fast hands this guy's got. 3 kills in the round, and they're looking to tie things up as we move into the final round of the half.
And already you're seeing 13-14 for Monyet and HeyNF. Even if we've kind of kept the score close in terms of the rounds, the difference with the kill count just shows the overflowing amount of frags that both these dynamic duelists have brought to the table for Onic has keep them afloat, and not even afloat, they're actually rearing for, as you mentioned, a tie as the first half is about to end. We'll see though, as Full Sense now has their buy up. Sovadrone has tagged one. Does Shiro have the ultimate? That's going to be a no, but this does give a lot of mid control. And once again, hey, look at it. Run it back for Monyet, but well, that's going to get quickly shut down, but HeyNF to follow right through, but they don't know that Superbus was hiding in the corner, shutting it down, and a spike be dropped. Well, that's not going to go to the favor of Onic at all.
Superbus somehow coming in to save the day. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's Superbus flying high in the air somehow. Anchored there in the markets where you least expect him. 5-6 on the board, and more important factors, it's a 5 versus 3 right now in the favor of Full Sense, and so they might just go up 7-5 at the end of this half, and that's honestly kind of like the minimum that you'd want here when you're playing on the defensive side, starting on the defensive side on Ascent. When you're going to the second half, you can be playing on that attacking side. It is a defender-sided map, and so every single round you can get on this defense is going to matter a lot. The 3-man push will be coming on here from mid. Superbus finds the third. The 4K from him almost gets the ace, but PTC is going to chime on in and help him out. 5-7 on the board. It's Full Sense at the last round of the half. Finally regained control.
Just imagine, a few rounds ago, it was supposed to be Monyet, who's about to get himself an ace, so you can really see how the back and forth struggle between these two teams quite evenly matched, so to speak. But once again, yeah, Superbus somehow, because Monyet was shut down by the person on the market doors, they immediately expected that nobody's going to be on the far right of the market entrance. But lo and behold, sometimes, can't second guess yourself. Just peek it once. That's all you need to do. But they were preoccupied, and now second half, we're starting this 5-7. We'll see how Full Sense go about this. A little bit slower on the pace. 3 on A main, 1 mid, 1 B main. But Onic not really adhering to it. 4 people sent on mid to get that control.
Oh dear, look at this. Mid control is definitely being established here, at least by Onic. And you love to see it. You love to see a team go for these kind. Oh, just in the nick of time. He crosses on over safely. And this might just have been an unfortunate happening for ONC, for Onic here. They did have that intention to try and, you know, maybe kind of get the flank on, but they don't have the information now. But now here on the B lobby, the fight is going to happen. Shalala finding one. They're currently blind. Nade out to try and keep him at bay, but PTC, a double right click for him, and he finds a double as well. Super bust somehow with the Ghost finding a frag here. The Ghost fire landing for Severin. He's found 2 frags, but could potentially get another one. I'm not sure if he's expecting Lammy Snacks to be here. He's going to shoot him in the side of the head. It will be full sense with a round.
I gotta say, man, that should have been the smartest thing by Onic. Far none. The problem was, as we saw on our x-rays, the timing could just not have been any worse. They did not push through on spawn. They were not able to spot even one player of full sense playing the caterpillar from A main to B main. And as they were peeking out on mid, full sense, you know, due diligence to check it out, and they got spotted, like all of them on the near contact. So unless they can break easy the guiding light, it would be so easy for PTC just to throw out the flash and basically nullify multiple and let his team just deal the damage. Now, full sense should have a quick enough easy round just to take this this one out. Shiro does get the refrag then and there, and at least he makes it into his own round as he gets himself a kill in as well as that orb. But in the end, with 10 HP, shouldn't do any more than that. But we'll see how that goes as the spike will get planted on A.
You know, Risky actually had the paranoia on him, so he maybe could have used it there, but I think he's trying to save that considering how expensive it has become lately. 400 credits to buy that on up. Just trying to save it for the next round. So Shiro finding an exit frag here on the PTC, just going to try and make things a bit more expensive for the side of full sense, but for the most part, they got this round off. I'm not sure that Onic here, or Shiro, even has any intention of trying to clutch this one on out, and so, you know, take what he's got, count your losses, and maybe find another exit, but he tries to go for the peak instead, loses to John Olsen, who has very low HP, at least for Shiro. He does get the round, so 9-5 here in the favor of full sense.
Man, cha-la-la-la. 18 kills in total. Even on the attacking side, he still shows his mettle there. Because again, the change that you would have as a sentinel or as a anchor when you're going to be playing on the attacking side is you play as the anti-lurk or a lurk yourself. And he's been making some value off of that here, Black. Now, 5-9, full sense. This doesn't seem to be the same output that we saw from Onic, but full sense at least loving the fact that they're here to just get these advantages now. Paranoia as well as nades being thrown, but nobody from full sense is right then and there. I think just a bait on the utilities could be to their favor as they're counting all of this, and one of them, Paranoia, 400 creds down the drain, and it's a really big ultimate, or sorry, not an ultimate, but a really big utility to use just to kind of stop the attackers.
You know, Onic here, I mean, they could potentially get their stop, and they could potentially maybe try and get the comeback happen. They were able to take the opening map of this series 1-0, but full sense are looking to return the favor and bring it 1-1. It's going to be our first 1-1 of the day if they're able to accomplish that here, full sense. And so the push coming in from John Olsen, first one on in, but Superbus is going to find the opening pick. Monyet here, no monkey business from him. He's going to get that trade off on his Superbus, and it's a 4v4 on the retake here coming from Onic.
See how they play around this. This should be still workable for them. Couple of wall banks, but John Olsen still holds his angle on Jenny for a moment. Monyet's about to close the corner, but this cloud burst gives him no information whatsoever. The rest are popping in. Flashes to be thrown out by PTC, but that doesn't stop anything from coming as full sense are here to play. 2 versus 2. Is there any form of post plan? That's gonna be a no, so it's all about the repeaks. And PTC's down to 8. Oh, the timing. He just knew what was up. Again, 7 seconds needed. So all he really had to do was hear the audio cue and time it properly. No need to peek out too aggressive. All you have to do is line it up and go for it when you know that time is right. And he does. 5-10.
If we're going to call a teabag a tactical crouch, what do we call when you just spray at somebody's body after the round? Tactical spray?
Turret out.
Perhaps? Because that's what PTC did at the end there. seemingly trying to get any nerves out of his system. But full sense, well,
Sprinkling on the lawn.
okay, we're gonna shower things a bit. Okay, I get you, Asarai, but 5 to 10, more importantly here, and full sense, they got the gun round. Eco coming from Onic. This is not looking too well for them. A bit, honestly, a bit unexpected. If anything, I kind of expected full sense to win map number 1 and then Onic to do it here in map number 2, but things have been thrown for a bit of a stir. Not in the way we were expecting.
Look at this spread around the map by full sense. They know that they have the weapons. They know that Onic is going to be on such a weak buy here. So they try to just figure out if Onic is going to go for that hyper-aggressive take that we were kind of wondering. And I'm wondering how Severin got a kill onto Chalala with a nanoswarm there. I think it was a combination of the Molly plus the peak. That's not the most of my concerns here. One of them is going to be this A main take, as Monyet is throwing everything that he has just to go about this. I think we're still at the patch as well where box bangs aren't going to be similar through all angles of the Radiant box. I think that's 3.03. We're at 3.02. So Monyet can play behind that box and not get fully blown out, but he still has to respect that the charge is going to be here. Shiro's in the response, and he's brought the Phantom all the way to the A side, and this helps out Full Sense immensely. 2 versus 2. Make that a 2 versus 1 as Lamistax has to go for that quick enough plant on the spike, but he's so damn low, 16 HP, and he's getting hounded down already, and no chance in heck that he's going to be able to clutch this round out. So go to the drawing board once again in the next round, but still 4 advantage for Full Sense.
I've lost count of how many thrifty rounds Onic have had here and how many kind of these like eco and force buys they've won, because they've been so formidable on those and so dangerous. When you kind of least expect it, these guys suddenly win their pistol rounds, suddenly win their eco rounds, and it's been catching Full Sense off guard. And to be quite honest with you, it's one of the biggest reasons why they're still in this game, because even when you might think, okay, Full Sense are able to string another round here because they have the economic advantage, they have the weapons advantage, the arsenal in their hands, they're just not able to because Onic are once again so good on a lot of these ecos and force buys. So Onic now in the driver's seat once more. It's a Full Sense on the eco by this time, but John Olsen, he's got a trick up his sleeve of his own. Hey, NF, goodbye.
Through an almost flash and 2 targets. Nerves of steel on John Olsen there, and yeah, he picked up the final key to open the door, and that door is to be able to whip out the blades once again. Onic do have the weapon advantage, but the big problem here is John Olsen, he's brought knives to a gunfight, but these knives, they're deadly and can be thrown at range. So you got to be careful about that. Still also has a double updraft, could go for that peek from A main to the A site. Not really advisable because he needs more mobility just to take the site for Onyx regard, or not Onyx, but Full Sense's regard. But we'll see how this goes as 4 stack. Monyet is in the corner, run it back here and now, and he's just lining up the body count, although he needs somebody to help him out there, and that's going to be a risky MD. Oh. John Olsen comes in from the side though. A couple of blades here and there, impaled into the heads of his opponents. And the transition, Lamistax throws out his spike just in case, and John Olsen is bringing this back because of his blades.
Slicing and dicing, but John Olsen has got the Vandal in hand this time. Owls abound, hooting and hollering. They know where John Olsen is because of it, but I mean, he's in a 1v2. Shiro is going to have to bring this one back somehow, expending most of his utility. He's got to hunt his Fury. But the thing is, in the 1v1, and he finds a frag into John Olsen. Lamistax very low. He knows where he is. He might just spot his head out, and he lands the shot, the flick coming in from Shiro, and just enough time to get this defuse off. Onyx 7 to 10.
Full confidence. Like, just no hesitation, no fear, as he charges out in the open against an opponent that was playing on a box, and he just flick heads first onto John Olsen, second onto Lamistax there, and this should have been a horrible round for Onic, but at least salvaged by that one player, by Shiro. We talk about so much about HNF and Monyet, but Shiro at least has a say in the matter, and he keeps the dream alive here. I mean, and hasn't allowed Full Sense to get another round at least. And this gives Onyx a chance, a hope, a dream.
So good there coming in from Shiro. He might have had the Hunter's Fury and he could have killed them in one shot each, but the thing is, when you're playing that close, you can get pushed when you have your Hunter's Fury ultimate out as a Sova, and so I like the diligence and discipline coming from Shiro to just go for the clutch, dry, natural, and all the things in between, because this man, he knows how the game is played and he knows what to do. Perfect play from him, perfect clutch. As Onic, there are still have some life in them breathed into because of that clutch, and honestly, as I said, a lot of these rounds where they might not be expected to win, a lot of these rounds where they might be at a disadvantage, that is where somehow they play their hand the best.
Superbus breaking the boom bot here. But this could be... Oh, wait, hang on. Okay, PTC has made some noise. Movements coming in from all over the map for Onic, now knowing that B could be the next victim. Superbus is still holding on top mid here. And it seems like it is going to be the full send by Full Sense. PTC has found one. Severin is down. That Killjoy ultimate will not be lasting for long, as well as their own ultimate expended here. And this is going to be a very, very deadly round for Onic. But at least they do have Lammy Snacks using his own ultimate to stave off. But this 3 versus 4... not really going to be super doable, especially when Chalala is holding the cross. This could be very difficult for Onic. Maybe go for the save, but it seems like that's not going to be what they want to do. It's going to be full down retake for them, but this retake not going to have much fun because that nade bounced in the wrong direction.
Yeah, not in the way he was expecting for that to go, at least the physics of it, but Shiro finds a frag through the smoke somehow. He's in another 1v2, but the situation of it is a bit more difficult to deal with than last time. Not able to get the second clutch out in a row. And John Olsen's going to confirm the round here for Full Sense. Now, it's so flashy, so great to see clutches, but you can't rely on that every single time. I'm not saying that Onic that's what they're relying on, but the fact of the matter is that's how these rounds have been turning out for them. And I mean, they're able to buy up into this one, not exactly fully, but Full Sense, they're a single round away from match point, and they're looking even better than they were earlier on. So by all means, I think Full Sense, they're locked and loaded to end the series 1-1.
I could agree with that, but I won't, because I feel like Onic have a good enough shot at this. The big problem with them now is they've kind of abandoned the mentality of getting more information from the map. If they don't hear anything, they just back away. But maybe it's because of this fact, and Monyet is stuck on the wall. They try to do the one thing that I mentioned, and it backfired straight up on them. Shiro's just going to try to push forward, maybe to catch them off guard, but everybody's vision is straight up looking into A main. Finally spots out John Olsen, gets out with bloody murder, and escapes with his life. This is perfect now for Onic, because at least they take away John Olsen, but they're still outnumbered.
A great read, honestly, coming from Full Sense on that A main push. They knew that Onic, with the light economy that they do have, as Lammy Snacks finds Shiro, the opposing Sova, and Chalala closes the round off with a double kill of his own. They knew that Onic like to go for those aggressive pushes when their backs are against the wall, when they don't have much economy left, and when the rounds are starting to dry out against their favor. And so you can just see that they were ready for it. They knew what was going to happen. They played the perfect counteraction to that. They had the gravity well there just to suck him on in. They had some flashes as well to counteract any sort of push from Onic. And now Onic, they're in a very, very rough spot. As I said, Full Sense, they are firmly in the driver's seat. I don't think this is, while it is possible, yes, for Onic to do, it's very highly improbable at this point.
They don't have the weaponry anymore. KNF still does have a showstopper, so that could at least be a hope here for Onic. Shiro just making a habit of getting that orb just in case, and John Olsen is scanning the close enough corners here of the A main side. It seems like the choice for Full Sense is try to go for that A once again, but this could be something, as Onic still do have that ultimate in tow. Rest of Monyet as well as Risky MD will be looking at short here, but Full Sense, they played a passive round for this current one. They seem to want to see Onic try to get some map control first and then go for the punish, but Onic, yeah, we'll see if they're antsy enough to make that happen, Black.
Well, just like an army event, they're gonna have to work as a full, well-oiled unit here, Onic, to be able to bring things back. The push from them, splitting up the B site. Actually, not even a split. They're coming from
30 seconds
the
left.
most unorthodox split you'd ever see. CT and market instead of the B main position. So B main going to be held on here by Full Sense. Onic trying to capitalize on what they've got to work with, but the plant will go on this Full Sense side, going towards that A side. The plant going down. John Olsen finding the
Watch it,
frag on
find it.
Risky MD. Was trying to rotate back in the site early. And as the divide comes up on here, this is so difficult right now for the side of Onic.
Shalala spotted out, but that showstopper has been used too quickly. Cosmic Divide making Onic, the rest of Onic, a little bit, I would say, just confounded, and that's going to be the end of the second map here, as we are going to have our first 1-to-1, and we're looking pretty good. Full Sense seemed to struggle a little bit.